On behalf of the Chief Magistrate of the Town of Lunenburg, Her Worship Rachel Bailey, and Town Council, I bring greetings and messaging on the occasion of the 267th anniversary of the founding of our beloved town, Lunenburg. These are troubled times. The pandemic and recent tragic events remind us of our shared fragility. It also demonstrates how everything and everyone is truly connected. Our thoughts are with those affected by this virus. We see great moments of hope in the dedicated and selfless work of mental health workers, first responders, and other essential workers to make our communities safer, all at a great personal sacrifice. We are especially thankful for the efforts of Lunenburg's own municipal employees to maintain essential services. We will endure. Have hope. Your children will go back to school. Churches will be open. You will once again hug family members at your gatherings. Today, we celebrate our founding fathers. Their strength of character, much needed today, remains part of who we are as Lunenburgers. Happy 267th birthday, Lunenburg. Cried aloud, this day, the 5th day of June, in the year of our Lord, 2020. God save the town of Lunenburg. God save us all. God save the Queen.
Hello, everyone. As John said, our esteemed town crier, we are celebrating Lunenburg's birthday today. Just like everything else in these past few months, we're celebrating a little bit differently this year. But it is important that we do celebrate. We're recognizing 267 years since the foreign Protestants landed at Rousersbrook. These settlers were recruited by the British to help them control the land here and to settle here. We typically recognize this event on June 7th, but it's been argued that the actual date is the 8th. And here we are celebrating on June 5th. It's important to recognize that to remember that our history, that this land was occupied long before that date. First by the first by the French, and long before that, of course, by the Mi'kmaq. The town of Lunenburg was then segregated much later from our rural neighbors and was incorporated as a separate municipal entity in the fall of 1888. And many other towns recognize their anniversary dates as the dates from their incorporation. Mahone Bay celebrated its centennial just last year. Regardless of when we celebrate, the important thing is we do celebrate. It's important to recognize the passage of time and to renew our excitement about the opportunities that await. Lunenburg is a special place. We should look back on how far we have come and remember fondly, but also look critically at our past. It's not all pretty. We have much to improve upon. Considering for a moment the riots and protests in the United States and also across our own country here in Canada, which were ignited by a horrific example of systemic racism, we all need to take time to look within and commit to do better. Today is a day when we can take pride in all that is the best of us, but as we begin another trip around the sun as a community, we must not glaze over the warts and the bad bits. Let's get excited about getting better, becoming better people as we continue to grow and develop as a better community. Project Lunenburg has been a year and a half in the making now, and we'll soon have a blueprint for our community's future. I'm excited for all that Lunenburg has to look forward to. Despite all that we've been facing in dealing with the threat of COVID-19, I have no doubt that our future is bright. And so for part of to continue with our celebrations, or as part of our celebrations, we're going to recognize some of those bright lights. And we have taken some time this past week to physical distance some awards to recognize people who've done wonderful work with the properties that they own and renovating and improving the exterior of the buildings in our beautiful community. And our heritage manager, Arthur McDonald, and I did a little road trip around town and presented some great citizens with some awards, our Heritage Recognition Awards. And we're going to share those with you now. And we start with Kempt Street, the Ironworks Distillery. So located on the corner of Montague Street and Kempt Street, this building was known as the Walters Blacksmith Shop until converted to the Ironworks Distillery. It's a registered municipal heritage property and is valued for its industrial architecture, its use of a forge until 2005, its association with the Walters family, and its role in the local shipbuilding industry, including the construction of the famed Blue Nose. Today, the building has been repurposed with a great respect for its original use, and the new addition contributes positively to the town's vernacular. We were delighted to present a certificate of recognition to the owners of Ironworks Distillery, Lynn McKay and Pierre Gouvernement, for successfully blending an addition that contributes positively to the design of the original structure. Special acknowledgement goes to Edwards and Quarry for the skilled craftsmanship obvious in this new build that blends beautifully with the original building. And then we moved on to 80 Creighton Street. This unassuming house was constructed in 1941 for William Hynek, a fisherman, when the property was subdivided from its neighbor at 84 Creighton. Designed as a two-story square hip roof dwelling, the one-story porch addition helps to bring the structure down to street level, adding to the aesthetics of the streetscape while paying homage to its original design. It really was our pleasure to present a certificate of recognition to Travis Hills and Marianne Donovan and their beautiful family who met us on the porch for successfully blending an addition that contributes positively to the design of the original structure. And they were all thrilled with the recognition, and we were thrilled to be able to capture that moment with them. Then we went to 194 Montague Street. This building was constructed as a machine shop by the Atlantic Bridge Company, known today as Abco Industries. The present owners adapted the shop for offices and industrial space for Blue Rock timber framers. The exterior renovation included adding elements of traditional Lunenburg vernacular, such as wide trims and vertically oriented windows, to enhance the original design while working well with the traditional waterfront buildings all around it. We met Shane Pittman of SMP Holdings, Inc., owner of the property, to congratulate him and present the certificate of recognition for a successful adaptive reuse of a building that contributes positively to the design of the original structure and to the town's vernacular. Next, we have 205 Pelham Street. This 1.5-story structure was originally believed to be built by Albert Young as an outbuilding to his dwelling located at Lincoln Street, which is above the property. It was either renovated or replaced with the present-day structure between 1932 and 1939 as a 4-bay garage. In the 1960s, the garage bays were replaced to house an electronics shop, and it had several changes of uses before its current one as a law office with a residential space above. A certificate of recognition was presented to David Hurdle for rehabilitating a building, including successfully integrating modern elements that contribute positively to the design of the building and the town's vernacular. David wanted to share the honor with Dean Schmeisser, who is the craftsman responsible for the decorative shingling work. Next is the Bank of Montreal building on 12 King Street. This bank was built in 1906 and later in 1966 had a modern addition built on its southern side. The bank was designed by Pedden and McLaren of Montreal, built from gray Shelburne granite and laid out in a cross-and square design. The current owner has restored the interior for new offices and completed the restoration of the exterior, including a functional diagonal doorway facing the corners of King Street and Pelham Street, in keeping with the original design. We were very pleased to present a certificate of recognition to Garth Turner and his wife Dorothy for a successful adaptive reuse of a building that contributes positively to the design of the original structure. And the community is very grateful to have this beautiful building in our downtown core being put to great use. Then on to 160 Montague Street. The original side of this paired structure was built for the offices of Louis Anderson and Co. in 1873. The company was instrumental in reviving the West Indies trade industry in the late 19th century. This 1.5-story building still retains much of its 19th century facade with its interesting round-headed label window set into its gable. The addition on its eastern side showcases Lunenburg's waterfront building vernacular in a modern fashion that attributes positively to the design of the original structure while blending harmoniously with the surrounding built environment. It was our pleasure to present a certificate of recognition to B2 Holdings Limited for successfully blending an addition that contributes positively to the design of the original structure. And despite his many other accolades for his architecture, Brian McKay Lyons was appreciative of receiving this award, and we are very proud to have this fine example of his work showcased here in the heart of Lunenburg. Hearty congratulations to all of our award winners. It's truly a pleasure to be able to recognize the good work that's being done throughout this community to ensure that it continues to be a very, very special place. So we wouldn't have, or what would a special event be without food? And it's difficult to share food under our current circumstances, but we didn't want the occasion to go by without having a cake. And I unfortunately am not able to share it out with everyone, but I asked a special someone to join me for the cake cutting for Lunenburg's birthday. And this is my granddaughter, Blake. Blake, can you say hi? Can you wave? I think she's looking at the screen, but doesn't see all of you, unfortunately. But we're gonna cut the cake, so I'm gonna let everyone see it first. Can you help Nana show the cake, Blake? Thankfully, Blake's mom, Jenna's here to help too. And so we don't actually lose it. It says, happy 267th birthday, Lunenburg. And Blake and I are gonna do a little ceremonial cake cutting. So you gonna help Nana, sweetheart? Yeah? There we go. Oh, push harder, get it, push harder. Yay, got it. There. So Blake and I and my Bubble family will enjoy some birthday cake in honor of Lunenburg's 267th birthday. And I want to wish all of the members of the community a happy celebratory day. Hope you have a great day and a great weekend, and happy birthday, Lunenburg. Bye-bye.